Welcome back, baseball fans. This is the eliminating the Texas Rangers video. They were so good last year. They were 26 and 21. Frank Howard had 21 homers and 56 RBIs. But you know, you're looking at a Washington Senators franchise transitioning to the Texas Rangers. They don't have the reinforcements yet to improve their team, and they regressed a lot. And you saw the last series; they just ran out of gas. And they finished 16 and 22. Offensively, Frank Howard, 8 homers, 23 RBIs, but he hit .232. Down year. But he'll come back with a new card. It won't be as good, but hopefully he'll rebound from it. His career continues. Mike Epstein had a nice year, 10 homers, 26 RBI at .260. Ed Stroud emerged as an interesting card. I think his card might be expired, though, as he had 6 doubles, 6 triples, and 7 homers in the leadoff spot, yet he didn't steal a base, though he was a B stealer. Very weird combination of results there. You still have Merv Retman with a great card. And the bullpen, Dick Bosman had a great year, as you can see, 159. Lindblad was pretty salty. ERA of 6 for the Ranger closer with just 3 saves. That explains some problems. Daryl Knowles, ERA of 306. Bill Hands, the 20-game winner they acquired in a trade from the Cubs, his 69 Cub card, thought that would be a big deal. Turns out he was just 4-4, but a pretty good ERA of 322. They also traded for big game Bob Johnson, who had a big year last year with the Kansas City Royals, but he was 4-6 with a 427 ERA. So they made a lot of moves. They didn't always work, and now it's time to take a peek at the Texas Rangers moving forward as we remove their 1969 cards from the set, and we pull these out and see who is coming back. Okay, so those are the 869 cards are removed, and we'll take an evaluation of that after we look and see who's coming back next year. So we have a nice split of 7 and 5. That's the desirable split you're looking for balance. So it's not, you know, being short in pitching or hitting. They got a catcher in Billings. Oh boy. Another catcher in Satriano. Bernie Allen at second base. They also have Dave Nelson who could play in the infield. Reichert in the outfield. You have a shortstop. Well, Retman. Thank God you have this card. That's like the best player. So you have 7 guys here. Brinkman's a good, solid shortstop. So with Frank Howard and Mike Epstein most likely coming back, the only spot missing would be third base that I see there. And the 5 pitchers, yeah, you're going to lose that Bill Hands card, the 20-game winning Bill Hands. You have Gogolewski and Lindblad in the bullpen. It's okay now. You lost Bosman and Daryl Knowles. They could come back. Johnson does pitch on 3 days rest. Mike Paul did a decent job as a lefty, and on Broberg we saw him lose, but he's got a good card. So, you know, it looks like it could be a good year, but it all depends on what's in the Washington Senators / Texas Ranger farm system. So let's take a peek at that. Okay, let's take a look at the Ranger Washington Senator players and their futures. Hank Allen will be the first guy. His career was from 66 to 73. Here's Hank. He was a Washington Senator, of course, and he did not go to Texas. He made stops in Milwaukee in 70 and then 72 and 73. And so after 69, 277, that was a nice year. With the card we just used, I don't think we have any more participation coming up for Hank. 1970, he split time with 2 teams and didn't have enough at-bats in either spot and didn't perform very well. So it's going to be a retiring of Hank Allen. All right. Next up, Mike Epstein. We know he sticks around. Mike Epstein would end up getting a ring with the Oakland A's, I believe. So here's 69 Epstein with the 30 home runs, the 414 on base, the 551 slugging. That was a great card we just finished using. 965 OPS. He was 25th in MVP voting for those Washington Senators. He also did not go to Texas. He went to their rivals, the Oakland A's, in 71 and 72. In 72, he would have gotten a World Series ring, I believe, with the Oakland A's. In 73, he ends up finally getting to Texas, interestingly enough. But that's a bad year. So the Rangers, well, you got to hold on to this guy. You know, 70, he still has a nice OPS. And then 71 and 72 he does as well. And yeah, you can let the phones ring. So I'm sure the phones are going to ring for Mike Epstein here, but if you're the Texas Rangers, you got to hold on to this guy. All right, next up, the big guy, Frank Howard, Hall of Famer. He's not a Hall of Famer? Look at that. I thought he was. Oh well, that's disappointing. 6'7", 255. My goodness. If he was in today's game, he'd be 7 foot and 300 pounds. Anyway, you get the idea. Oh, the big guy. 69, he was 4th in MVP voting. You bring him right back in 1970, and he's 5th in MVP voting. So he's still a Washington Senator. He does go to Texas in 72, and then he ends up on Detroit. So Frank Howard, yeah, no-brainer there. So you have 2 keepers. Next up, Ken McMullen. Ken McMullen, 62, long career, 15-year career starting in 1962. McMullen played for the Senators in 69. Had a nice year, 272. You know, oddly enough, we had the Buddy Bell card. Buddy Bell, longtime Texas Ranger third baseman, in use, so it prevented McMullen from getting into our league sooner. But he was in it last year with this card. Now, statistically, he's going to be going downhill a little bit here. 70 was not very kind between the Senators and the Angels. 71 he gets back on track with a 250 card, and 72 he gets back on track. But he's an Angel. So again, the Angels are in your division here. So, you know, entertain offers, but I'm bringing Ken McMullen back too. You bring those 3 guys back, and then suddenly I'm not, as down on the Rangers as I was when I made the first part of this video. Ed Stroud is the next player. Easy Ed Stroud played from 66 to 71. He had a lot of extra base hits this past season with a 69 card. And, here it is. Here's a 69 card, 252 with a 746 OPS. In 70, he plays more. Average goes up, on base goes down. Has 29 stolen bases. That'll get you in the league every time. So he's coming back. So there we have the Rangers just rebuild the offense and then take their chances on rookie pitchers. That seems like the notion. However, I think we're going to see some trades happen here because we have Bill Hands, and you'll see the reason they acquired Bill. He played a decade in the league starting in 65. His big year was 69 with the Cubs. That's that year there, 20 and 14 season. That's the card we were just using, but the Cubs saw fit to trade him to the Rangers. Now the Rangers made this deal because they have Bill Hands later on in his career in 74, and I believe in his final year of 75. So they picked him up earlier than usual. They picked him up sooner than history suggests. But he is an innings eater. He pitches 242 innings or over 200 innings in 70 and 71. He did it for the Cubs. And the reason why the Cubs were able to make this trade is they had an abundance of right-handed starting pitching, and they could afford to lose Bill Hands because they have Milt Pappas, they have Bert Hooton, they'll have Rick Russell and Fergie Jenkins. So they had no more room for a righty starter. So that's why the Cubs are willing to make the deal. If you made that trade for the Rangers, you don't give up on them after just 1 year. So you will bring back Bill Hands, and what this means is that the Rangers are in the good position of having extra keepers to entice other teams to trade for. I don't know what you're going to get for Ed Stroud. You could probably get a decent chunk of change for Mike Epstein. McMullen's a solid third baseman, so the Rangers are going to be a team that trades in the offseason. All right. Boy, this could be the tradiest team. Dick Bosman. He'll be good for a while. I think he'll also go to Oakland, but he doesn't go there to 75. So here's Bosman with a 14-5 record, a sparkling 2.19 in bold ERA because he led the majors in that. Dick Bosman. So in 1970 and 71, he pitches on the rotation. Come on. And of course, he does end up on the Rangers in 72. Got to keep him. Dare I say now that I've seen so many keepers, now we talked about, Ed Stroud, you can trade him. McMullen, trade him. And Epstein, you could trade him. They have so many other possibilities here. The Rangers could come back next year. I was thinking that they would have to wait until Jeff Burrows, Toby Harrah, and Mike Hargrove become available before this team is good again. That might not be the case. Now that we see that they have plenty of options of those missing 69 cards, or the new to be missing. Only Hank Allen is a retiree. And the next guy is Darryl Knowles. We know he'll continue. He pitches all the way through 1980. This team's in good hands. They got to make the right choices now. Maybe letting Frank Howard go, dare we say, and get a king's ransom in return. Wow. So Knowles, 69 card with a 2.24 ERA, was an All-Star. Would that also be his only All-Star appearance in his career? It would be. Look at that. Never went to the All-Star game again. But look what he does the next year. He has a 2.04 ERA in 119 innings with the Washington Senators. My, he is coming back. In 71, he's good. .16 whip in 71 might even be better. And in 73, he moves to Oakland. So, gotta say it, but Knowles is coming back too. Interestingly, this is a great situation. 7 keepers, of course you can't keep 7, but you could always put these guys on waivers, or you could retire a guy too. But why do that when teams are going to desire these players? So what happens is you package these guys in a trade, and some of those guys who are coming back, like Bernie Allen, you move him off the roster at the same time. Or let's say Rick Reichert, get him off the roster. Or Dick Billings, or Bill Gogolewski or Pete Broberg. So that's how you package it. So that the 12 guys from the years 70, 71, and 72, you move those guys in the trade, in a 2-for-2 trade. Trade one of those guys and one of these keepers for 2 guys from another organization. So, yeah, the Rangers, they have a lot of potential. They got to play the off-season well. And if they do that, they'll be back next year in the 70, 71, 72, 73 carryover league. That's it tonight from Texas. Hope you're enjoying these eliminating team videos. We'll see you next time.